is the Influencer Entrepreneurs Podcast with Jenny Melrose, where I strategize with business owners on how to grow and scale their businesses to hit their income goals. This is episode 376 of the Influencer Entrepreneurs Podcast with Jenny Melrose. Today, we're going to be talking about mastering productivity, the art of time batching for enhanced efficiency. We are going to walk you through exactly what time batching is, how to actually implement it and put it into place. Now, before we dive into that, I want to make sure that if you haven't already taken advantage of the discount that podcast listeners get for our Insiders program, that you do so. The Insiders program gives you weekly strategies that are taught live to you via Zoom in a training workshop, as well as we do a monthly group coaching program. And since the beginning of 2024, we have been focusing on making sure that your content can get out there easier. We've been working on content sprints and implementing a lot of the time management strategies that we have been talking about so that you can be more productive. One of the biggest problems that I run into with my bloggers that are trying to put out content consistently is that they can't. They can't come up with the ideas. They can't consistently get it out. There's too many things in their day that they have to get done. They have their focus is being split between so many different things. Wow. That's why inside the Insiders group, we make sure that we give you the strategies so that you can get out content, so that you can be held accountable to make sure that you are utilizing your time to the best of your ability. All right, so let's jump into this piece of time batching. We're going to unlock that peak productivity with our guide on the time batching, which is a powerful strategy to streamline tasks, boost focus, and supercharge efficiency. So what exactly is time batching? Time batching is a time management strategy where you group together similar tasks by task batching within a specific time frame. So you're going to take tasks that are very similar, use the same side of the brain, are going to be consistently what you're going to be doing, and then you're going to put it within a time frame. We've spoken about personal time management on the podcast that is based on income producing activities, as well as anti-time management, which focuses on prioritizing your attention on what you want in life rather than the essence of managing your time. So what I want you to be able to do is to decide what time management strategy is going to work best for you. And at different points in your journey of your business, this may change. You may notice that you are really thinking about your future and your legacy and where your time needs to be spent. Because as we all know, our lives and our businesses are very pendulum based. Sometimes we can put a ton of time into our business, and then other times our family really may require our attention. And it's never a matter of balance. It's a matter of just feeling out that pendulum and putting our time into it where we need to at that time, our focus, our energy. So when you are trying to decide on what you are going to focus for your time management strategy, we're going to talk about time batching so that you can take a look and see if this is something that could potentially work for you. So when you are taking a look at this, first thing we want to make sure that we understand are the benefits of time batching. Time batching is going to force you to stop multitasking. So many of you will tell me I can do multitasks like anybody's business. I actually used to brag about the fact that I was a great multitasker. I could be writing something and then answering social media and then on email and then trying to do a video, all while making sure that my 2-year-old at that time was down for a nap or was doing her artwork, or my 5-year-old at the time was cooking in the kitchen. We as moms like to try to do all the things and have this multitasking personality. But when you actually time batch, instead of feeling like you are being pulled in 18 different directions, because let's be honest, that's what multitasking does. It makes you feel like you're spinning 18 different plates and one of them is bound to drop. And something usually does. You may start to feel like you've got brain fog, or you may start to notice that you're forgetting certain things. I was at that point in my life as well. And it was because I was trying to multitask. And when you multitask, it makes you less productive because you're focused in 18 different directions and you're not really paying attention to the main thing. So when it comes to time batching, we're going to utilize the little time that we may or may not have in our day, and we're going to make sure that it is extremely focused on specific tasks. And we're going to, like we talked about, batch those tasks based on the type of task that they are. So, how to use time batching. I want to actually give you a simple guide so that you can implement this for yourself. The first thing I'm going to need you to do is to determine the pockets of time that you have in a day. So I want you to take a look at your calendars. Look and see what your day looks like. Are you having to do live trainings? Are you having to work one-on-one with clients? Are you having to make sure that your daughter gets picked up from preschool or dropped off from preschool? Or are you needing to run the kids after school so your day has to end at 2:30 so that you can bring them to their after school activities, sports, whatever that might be, okay? Are you having to travel to go and speak at certain conferences or attend certain events, or even have to travel to bring your kids to volleyball tournaments or dance competitions? Yes, I'm speaking from experience here. I want you, though, to look at your calendar and see you're going to have pockets of time, even if you have a newborn. I have built my business while I had a newborn because my youngest was not expected and was a newborn throughout me building the process of building my business. So you find those pockets of time when they're down for a nap, or when you're going to find that all of a sudden that toddler is amusing themselves for 30 minutes. You don't know exactly how long it's going to be, but you may have these little pockets of time.
Hey there, guys. My name is Melanie from Mostly Under Control, and I am a member of Jenny's Influencer Entrepreneurs Insiders membership. I've been a part of it since 2017, and over these 6 years, I've taken full advantage of the weekly trainings that Jenny offers and the monthly group coaching. The group coaching is probably my favorite part of the membership. Jenny has taught me so many things for my business. She helped me niche down and write and teach about what I wanted so that I wouldn't burn out. In addition to what she teaches, the networking I've done with other members has been invaluable. I recommend her membership to all of my online business owner friends because it is worth every single penny.
Have those conversations with your husband or your partner. Figure out how they can support you so that you can get these pockets of time. The first place to start, though, is finding those pockets of time that you can look at a calendar and say, okay, I've got an hour here. I've got 45 minutes here. I've got 15 minutes here, so that you can then identify your tasks that need to be completed within the time frame that you have for those tasks. So in doing this, you're identifying those tasks, so you have to know how long those tasks are going to take you. Now, when you are doing this, you want to batch your tasks together that are similar. So in other words, if I'm going to be doing SEO, I'm going to do keyword research, and I am looking to do not just one post of SEO research, keyword research, I'm looking to do the keyword research for multiple blog posts that could be about similar topics, so that I'm not wasting my time jumping into the keyword research and then trying to outline and then trying to write it or trying to do the YouTube video that's going to go along with it. Okay. You're staying on those tasks that are similar. So if you're going to do keyword research, you're going to keyword research and you're going to look at a couple different posts that you could potentially write based on the time that you're spending doing keyword research. Then you may take that keyword research and based on it, you're going to outline your blog post. You're just outlining though. You're just going through and outlining what those posts are going to look like, so that you then the next day could potentially look at your tasks and your posts that you have done. And now you're going to write the content, or you're going to shoot the recipe or the DIY that you are working on. So you're going to do the project, the creation, the creative part. The idea behind this is you're using the same part of your brain in order to get these things done. The last piece of this is that you're going to evaluate whether the process is working for you, because you're going to have to determine whether or not the amount of time that you are putting down is actually realistic, or if this is potentially something that you may have to look at extending your time for and really trying to find a better spot for it, or that task, seeing if it is something that potentially could even be handed off. So let's talk about tips for effective time batching. The first thing that you need to do when you are trying to time batch and get these tasks done is to eliminate distractions. You cannot have social media open. You can't have 85 windows open on your computer. You need to be focused on the one tab that you're supposed to be in to get that task done. You also need to be realistic about how long your task will take you. We know that we can say that it's going to take us 15 minutes, but in reality, how long is it actually taking you to write that content, to do the research, to go through and actually shoot the photos? You can't tell me that a photo shoot is going to take you an hour when you know stinking well that normally a shoot takes you 3 hours. You have to be realistic about it. You also want to leave room in your calendar for uncompleted tasks. So what I try to do is I try to leave my Friday for anything that I had already kind of mapped out and said I was going to get done, but didn't have enough time within that time frame that I gave myself to batch those tasks. So now I can get Friday, and if it's something that is going to be required to be done by the end of the week, I can make sure that I have time in my calendar to get that done. You also can use tools that will speed up your process. So if you're a blogger, using AI, going through and using ChatGPT, using keyword research tools that you're familiar with and comfortable with, going through and making sure that you are actually paying attention to your time that you are using. If you need to actually time yourself to know how long tasks take so that you can be realistic about that time, use tools that are going to help you be able to do that. You also want to look at potentially outsourcing tasks that don't need to be done by you. If it doesn't need to be your voice that is speaking or on video or creating and doing the keyword research, think about potentially handing that off. If there's content, you might be able to get a writer. Maybe you do the keyword research, but someone else writes it for you or shoots the photos. Look at what you could potentially hand off if you are finding that the time batching isn't getting you enough time in the day to get everything done that you need to be done. You have to be able to determine if it's something that absolutely needs to be done by you or if it can potentially be handed off. All right, you guys, we're going to continue these conversations about how to be more productive in the next couple weeks on the podcast. But I really want you to start to get your brain wrapped around this idea of time batching, because like we said, it also combines the idea of task batching, which we have talked about in the past. I just want to tell you guys that I appreciate you all so much for listening in. If you haven't joined Insiders, get on it. We are extending the Insiders price for you for our podcast listeners. You're getting 40% off, and you are getting weekly live trainings plus a group coaching call once a month. If you're not in that program, you need to be there. It is where you're going to be held accountable and be able to move your business forward. All right, I appreciate you all, and until next time, I will see you all then.